Hi and welcome to SpaceLink TV. Today is another special day. We have another special guest. You've heard of Dennis Asberg before. Dennis Asberg is the co-founder of Ocean X team that found the Baltic Sea anomaly in 2011, which is actually our 10 years anniversary this year. But Dennis also got other experiences that we're going to talk about today. Today is not going to be about the Baltic Sea. For once, Dennis, welcome, Dennis.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I know that you had some experience in 1996, not far from Stockholm, a real UFO experience. Can you tell us a little bit about what you saw that day?
Yeah, I can really. And the reason I want to do this in English, or we doing it in English, because I have done it in Swedish. And I received lots of mails. The person are interested to know what I'm talking about because I'm doing it in Swedish. But yes, right. Back in 1996, before we found the Baltic Sea anomaly, I saw something I have never ever seen before. And that changed my life totally. Okay. And 96, early in the morning, I'm living in a town called Sundbyberg, outside of Stockholm, not so far outside of Stockholm, very close to a military installation called Ursvikt.
What military installation? What kind of?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. They're doing lots of things. They're experiments. They're working with nuclear things, chemical things, and lots of other things.
Yeah.
This military installation don't exist anymore. It's closed in the end of 90s. But now we're talking 96, and it was in action then at that time.
It's still active in 96.
Still active.
It's a military.
And anyway, I lived perhaps 2.5-3 kilometers from this military installation, and at that time, I lived in an apartment high up in a house, and my view was the military installation called Järva in Swedish.
So that was all you could see from your window. What floor were you on?
Highest floor. Up in and that house, it was fourth, I think.
Fourth floor.
Yeah, okay. But it was quite.
You had a good view over the military.
Yeah, there was a good view over the whole field there. Anyway, this morning, I, of some reason, waked up very early. Usually, I don't do that. I used to sleep quite long. But at this time, I wake up like 3:30, 4 o'clock. And my ex-wife is in the bed, and I'm sitting in my bed and just wondering, okay, perhaps I'm going to go up and take water or eat something, but anyway, I'm sitting up. After a while, I'm sitting up in the bed, and I have in front of me a big window, and in this window I can see the whole field of Järvafältet, where the military installation is, and I see something for sure. And it's taken me a couple of seconds before my brain connects and I react.
Putting the pieces together.
Yeah, because it's not belong there. It's something totally new in my eyes. There
human response time.
Yeah. And after a couple of seconds, I begin to react and like say, what the heck is that in bad words, F words.
Yeah.
Let's say. And I begin to notice that my wife is begin to move around in the bed and understand that something is wrong. So I turn around and look at her and like, what the heck? I see something. and turn around again and look at the window, and it's still there. It's still there.
How long time was that from you saw it till you tell your wife, and it's still there?
Yeah, exactly. I see her in her eyes. She's with big eyes and look at me. Dennis, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I turn back again and look out the window and see something that I have never ever seen before. And it was not like a bird shit on the window. It was something for sure.
Yeah,
it was something big. Something very big hovering over Ursvikt, this military installation.
Something big. What form was it? Was it triangle? Was it round? Was it a ball? Was it?
I mean, the first seconds when I'm turning around, I see it like was like a cigar formed, like a hot dog.
Yeah,
and it was brown, yellow, dark. And I remember this was a morning, and the sun was on its way up. So the sunlight was reflecting on it.
Okay.
And I was like, what the heck is that? So I began to, go up more closer to it, up to the window, and just put my hands here and what the heck is that? And we're talking now about perhaps 10, 12, 13 seconds, not more than that. But for me, it feels like it was minutes.
Many minutes, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I look at it, and when I got my goosebumps,
yeah,
well, was now I'm gonna show you. I see it like this. This is a snous, Swedish thing. Yeah. You see it like this, and then it's turning up like that.
You see it,
and then I see the darkness under it, and then I really understand that this is something that should not be there. It's moving, and in the seconds, it's just like you're throwing a frisbee in your face. Excellent. It was so fast. It was no light. It was no sound. It was nothing. Just something that flipped or tilted and just fly away.
Took off with a high speed, with high acceleration.
Yeah. And I was so shocked about the whole situation, and the adrenaline is begin to pump, and my wife was shocked about the whole situation. But anyway, I run over the bed, over her, to the other side of the apartment to see where it's gone. Yeah. Because it was on my direction. And I standing there, I remember, for a couple of minutes. And then after a while, my ex-wife is coming up to me and say, Dennis, what's wrong? She was shocked. And I say, I have seen something. I cannot explain. It's something.
That shouldn't be.
What have you seen? I don't know. I don't know, I said to her. Something that should not be there. A big thing. And that was 1996. I was in the middle of my career. I did lots of things at that time, lots of businesses. And before that, of course, I have believed in life in other worlds and UFOs, like other people do. But have not been like a big interest for me.
No.
But at that time, it was like, wow, something have happened, and I have seen something that should not be there.
That was a turning point for you, for your belief.
Yeah.
When Dennis Asberg started to believe in UFO existence of UFO, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was quiet about it. The first thing I did that day, I remember, at that time, 1996, we have like a It was big computers, was not like now.
Oh.
And you have Alta Vista search engine and
old IBM systems.
Yeah. So anyway, we have an organization called UFO Sweden.
Yeah.
I remember going into Alta Vista the same day and searching, how can I mean, I have seen something. I want to explain this. Have somebody else seen this thing I have seen? And I remember I write a mail to this organization, UFO Sweden.
Yeah.
And I was so, every day I was on the computer and see if I received the mail.
So did
but
you
no, I did not.
Never.
No answer back.
That was kind of strange because you would think that the organization is created for receiving information of people who have had experience they can't explain, that they believe could be out of this world, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I have seen it and I did my best to get help. I did not get any answer. And at that time, I decided to be quiet about it. The only people who knows about it knows about it, or I talked to at that time was my family and very close friends. And that was my experience, and that changed my life totally. That day.
How did your friends and your family react to your story, your experience when you told it? How did they react? Were they critic, or did they believe you right away, or how are they?
No, I'm a very honest guy, and the people who knows me don't believe in that I'm gonna coming up with like an idea and a false idea about this, and so my family, of course, they believed in me, but it's very difficult to explain this for them. So it was not easy to explain for my friends. And of course, they listen to me and they know me, sounds back. And they were very curious about it. And I remember my sons, Jim and Kevin, they were quite young at that time. We were at the spot, and even some friends, because I want to show them. Here was the spot. Here was the place I saw this. It's hovering over here. And I have also reference, so I can, see how big it was.
A size estimation. And how big do you think this was?
Oh, it's very difficult to say. It's a big thing. It's not a small thing I have seen. It can be like 500, 600, 700 meters in diameter.
Yeah.
It was very, very big.
Huge.
That's why I reacted so. That's why I reacted.
Yeah.
As I did. Yeah. If it was something small, I mean, can it be an airplane, a helicopter, something like that? This was something big in front of my.
That was not a small little anomaly or object.
No, it was not, for sure.
As a satellite or anything else, or Venus in the sky, or.
No, it was no air balloon or airplane or helicopter or Venus in the sky, for sure. Yeah. But, I mean, this was 96. And then 2011, I mean, many, many years after this, my company, my friend Peter, we were out on a, mission to search for cognac and champagne.
Yeah.
On a shipwreck out in the Baltic Sea, and we found the Baltic Sea anomaly.
Yeah, we all remember that.
Do you understand me then? That I got, like lots of goosebumps on my body because, hey, I have seen something 96, and now I see something strange again.
Do you think there is a connection with your experiences in 1996 and that you found the Baltic Sea anomaly together with Peter Lindbergh in 2011?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so, but you can never know.
You can never, ever know.
No, because, I mean, what I saw 1996 was obvious. It was something that don't belong there.
Yeah.
Well, what we saw in the Baltic Sea and still are there, it's something for sure. If it's a UFO, we don't know. If it's a construction of some kind, we are more
ancient construction. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we 15,000 years
ago. Exactly.
Right.
We don't know about that either. But in 96, it was obvious. It was something that don't belong there. And for me, it was a UFO for sure. 100%. 100%.
No
that and that, I cannot take that away in my sense, in my brain. It's like I'm burn marked. I have seen it. And believe me, almost every day I'm thinking about it. But of course, I'm thinking about the Baltic Sea anomaly also, because that was the experience I have never experienced before in that way. As I said before, we were out searching for a special shipwreck with cognac and also other liquor on board. And then we found this thing in the middle of the Baltic Sea. And the connection there, I have seen that in 96, and now I'm seeing this. It was like, wow, what the heck is going on? So it's for me, it was a strange moment. It was. And it still are. Because I know what I have seen in 96. But I know, let me correct it. I don't know what I have seen in 96, but I know it should not be there. And it's almost the same thing when it comes to Baltic Sea anomaly, but it's still there. And I don't know what it is in the Baltic Sea either. But it's there. When I'm talking about Ursvikt, it was there for, in my eyes, in front of me, it was like 12 seconds, and then was gone out in the Baltic Sea. It's still there, I hope.
Do you think, like you said, you don't know what you've seen in 1996, and the Baltic Sea anomaly is kind of the same. You don't know what you've seen, but do you ever think we're going to find out what the Baltic Sea anomaly is? Do you think we'll get an answer?
Yeah, I hope. I mean, of course, we must have got the answer. It's my goal to get the answer. I cannot turn my back on this. But I have gone out to this many times. It's not only to go back and dive and use ROV and get underwater robots to find out what it is. You must do more investigation to take samples and so on.
Yeah. We can't just go out.
No, we're throwing the money in the sea, let's say.
Yeah.
And I really want the answer. So
if it's going to come a funding for it one day, then we will get the answer. And Dennis Asberg and Peter Lindbergh will probably be the two first people to stand in line to deliver the answers to us together with a research team. I could imagine if funding will come up and some proper equipment to get all the right video recordings and pictures. I could imagine that.
I don't know if you have seen the last documentary from 2019. It's out on Amazon and other streaming.
I must admit,
channels.
and it is a little bit embarrassing for me as my person, but no, I haven't seen it yet. And
No. Anyway, 2019, we were out again. At that time, we had a team from Finland also with us, with our equipment. And the reason for that, because we want to have somebody else to see it, not only Peter and me and the team, also guys from another team.
Outside.
They're also skeptic. They were very skeptic from the beginning. But even he, who is the captain in this group of Finland, when he looked at it, he said, this is constructed. Somebody have built it. So Peter and I look at each other and okay.
Yeah.
And we were at A2 at that time. Because A2 is very, very interesting also.
Yeah. I remember when the sonars came, the blue view scan comes up of the so-called slab, 27 meter long slab, lying down and clearly visible on the blue view images. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fascinating thing. And the first thing I remember was that you thought it must have been some kind of pillar or an obelisk or something that was standing up. And it does make sense if you look at it from an ancient history perspective. It's just a few meters away from A1, which is the circular shaped object that looked and was described as Millennium Falcon looking object. So are we looking at something from the ancient times down there? We must remember that it was dry land 15,000 years ago. The ice age didn't come before 15,000 years ago. And at that time it was dry land, just like the land we're standing on now is.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. But
can be like that.
Back to your UFO experience, Dennis, have you ever experienced anything similar later in your life? Have you have other experiences of sightings of UFOs?
Yeah, I have, but I don't know really if it was. I'm open and think outside of the box. And when I see things, I'm an explorer. I'm a curious guy. Have always been. And of course, since '96, when it's dark and at night time, I'm going out and watch the stars. And it's because I'm marked already.
Yeah.
And I see things, of course. I don't know if it's UFO, but I have seen things that perhaps it's something UFO. I don't know. I don't have any proof.
Yeah.
But back to '96 then, I thought about that a lot after that. What was the reason I wake up? Usually I wake up like 6-7 o'clock in the morning.
Did you feel that you were guided to wake up? You were woken up?
Yeah, that's the strange thing also. I have thought about that. I don't know. I don't have any proof on that. And the same thing when I watched it from the window, I have a feeling that they know I'm watching them.
Exactly.
I can be wrong about that, but that was a feeling. I can not really explain how I feel it, but something strange in my mind going on at that time. And it was like, okay, I watched them, this thing I have seen, and then it's just
gone in a second.
And that understanding, or what can I say? I begin to think about that after I have seen it.
Yeah.
And I began to, what the heck is going on? What's the reason I wake up so early? I was waking for like 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, I'm sitting up in my bed and watch out on a window. I usually did that every morning. before eating breakfast and something.
Yeah.
But this was very early, and the sun was on its way up. And that is something I have think about many times. I'm still doing that. You know, how come that I wake up so early? I have no reasons to do that, really. It was a weekend or it was Saturday. And I'm sitting there and see this thing. And then after 12 seconds, it was gone. And
you said your wife felt uncomfortable as well.
Yeah, of course she was afraid. She, you know, when it's not Dennis, you know, I'm a calm guy. I'm a cool and calm guy. I never scream and never get angry. And usually I'm asleep in the morning. But this time I wake up early and begin to use F words. Was something new for her. And of course she gets afraid and reacts. And yeah, that was a crazy moment in my life, for sure.
An experience like that will always create a scar on your soul and your mind that you will take with you for a lifetime.
Yeah, it does for sure. And I was very also, for many days after that, I thought, okay, UFO Sweden, can I talk to them? I did my mail. Why don't I get an answer from them? And I was so frustrated about the situation because I want to answer. What the heck was that?
What are we looking at? What is it?
Yeah, and perhaps it's somebody else. Because at that time, I look at Alta Vista, not only UFO Sweden, I look at news from airports and things. Have somebody seen this thing? It cannot only be me. I mean, this was a big thing over the sky, over the Ursvikt, this military installation. So somebody must have seen it. And but nothing.
And you never managed to find anybody else who saw it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, lots of people, 2012 or 13, I think, was a friend of mine who said, Dennis, I have heard your story. Can't you know, go out on in the YouTube about it? And I said, I don't know, you know. I don't know. And then after a while, I decided, okay, why not? I mean, what the heck? I have seen this thing in the Baltic Sea. I don't know what it is. And
now you can use
and I don't care anymore. I have, you know, I'm not the young guy anymore, so I don't care. Because the thing was that in 96, I was in the middle of my career and lots of things going on. And to go out and say then, oh, guys, I have seen something over the sky. In the,
were you afraid of being ridiculed by
yeah, because
around you? Yeah.
They laughing at me and then they don't take me serious.
No.
And I don't want to take that risk. That's why I were very quiet about it. But 2012 or 13, after the Baltic Sea anomaly, and lots of pressures from my friends that, oh, you have seen this 96, you know, why don't you go out and tell about that? And okay, should I do that? Okay, let's do it.
So you brought it up,
I brought it up. Yeah. For sure.
I would like to ask you about the military facility again that was in the neighborhood. Do you think that the sighting you had was related to the military facility, or do you think it was just a coincidence that it was?
No. It was connected. It was into the military field. It was a test area also for nuclear things and chemical weapons and lots of things at that time. Have been for a long time on Ursvikt. And of course, after a couple of days after this experience, I began to, you know, okay, what's the reason they are there? Must be something. And I remember at that time, earlier, of course, my grandfather working there as an engineer.
Okay.
At the military.
Itself, yeah.
And I remember he talked lots about it, and I know other people talked about it. They're working with, you know, chemical weapons, the nuclear things, development of that and that and that in the military area. Yeah. So of course I connected to that, but that take me a couple of days to, you know, why? Because I asked myself, why have I seen this? Why is it over Ursvikt? And after a while, okay, must be something with the military stuff they have there.
One question create 1,000 others. So yeah, and if it was related to the military facility and it had a kind of relation to the military facility, that means there would be a contact between the humans on the military facility and whatever was up in that plane, because you said yourself that it wasn't one of ours, it was a UFO, it was a spaceship. So in reality, if that's related to each other, that means there is a way bigger scene behind that. We are talking about a UFO sighting. In reality, your UFO sighting could open up for understanding what's going on behind the scene, because you have only seen a spaceship fly away, a spaceship so big that you can't explain it, your mind can't comprehend it. It has taken you years to come back to normal again. That's the small picture. The big picture is what's going on behind. So I would say that without drawing any conclusions, that there is a new story to take up on now from 96. What's going on with the UFOs over a nuclear warhead storage facility, as it's listed at experimental facilities? There's been a UFO sightings, which means that there is a connection between those two, and that connection has to build on some bigger collaboration between whatever is up here and the military base. Do you think we have such a collaborations going on in this world already?
I don't know if they have a collaboration. I don't know. I have seen something for sure, and I think now 2020, 2021, lots of things have coming up, but you know, they have proved. Lots of officers have said that they have seen spaceships or UFOs have been on places there have nuclear weapons, and this is something coming up couple of years now. This was 96, and perhaps they have done that for a long time. They are curious. They are explorers, exactly as I am. I'm an explorer also. And they want to know what's going on Earth, and what are we doing with nuclear things, and the development of it, and so on. So, I think they are interesting. What are we doing? And what kind of nuclear things do we have?
So you would think they are observing.
Yeah, they're observing.
Observing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, there's a lot of things that could use a little bit of observing from the outside to correct us as a human species. There's a lot of things going on this planet that could need a little bit of attention. I think this is a very, very interesting, especially the part with the military installation, because that connection together would bring us to the next step. What's going on behind the walls? What was going on? And I think without promising too much, that already this is enough for us to dig onto this and look a little bit into the archive about the military base and what was going on there.
Yeah, that's good.
And I know that my partner in crime is very much interested in following up on it as well, on our new podcast, or not podcast, our streaming channel that will come out in late November, where you also can find this interview here with Dennis Asberg about his UFO experience in Stockholm, outside Stockholm in 1996. Is there anything you want to add to the story?
Not really. I mean, it's my experience. Nobody can take that away. And I don't have a good answer what I have seen, more than I explained. But for sure, it's not coming from here. No. It's not the bird shit on the window. It's not the airplane. It's not the helicopter.
It's not.
It was something that scared me.
But could you see a texture, a structure on this spaceship?
Yeah, I did really. It was not a flat.
No, it wasn't smooth and blank.
No. It was not. It was quite rough surface on it.
Yeah.
And I see the shadows also on it. Like there was corners and things on it.
What was it?
Yeah, on the
like on a diving ship, you have a crane, for example. You can see
exactly
kind of utilities. Underneath it.
Yeah, and I even if it was like 11, 12 seconds, I remember it so well. And it was structures on it. It was quite rough on the surface. And as I mentioned before, the big, like, whoa, was when it's tilted. That was the, what the heck? And I remember I'm get almost like scared at that time, because this big thing just tilted, and under it was dark. Because the sun was not shining on it.
Was there any kind of lights on the object?
No.
No lights at all. No.
No.
And no sound either.
No, I was inside of the house, so in back of the window there. So it was no sound I can hear, and it was a scary situation, and I just ran over the bed and to the other side of the apartment to see if I can see it.
And there was nothing.
And it was totally gone. And I stand there for a couple of minutes and just try to understand what I have seen.
Was you up the following days after at the same time of night to see if it came back?
I mean, the day after and the years after and I was at the spot many times alone.
Loaded with camera and whatever?
No, not the camera. Just with myself and my to understand what the heck was that? What have I seen? And I tried to understand, and I talked to my ex-wife about it almost every day. And also my kids about it. But I said to them, you don't say anything to nobody. Don't say anything, because they're going to think I'm a lunatic.
Have you ever seen anything like it in graphics or something that reminds you of what you saw that people have done on computer graphics?
Believe me, I have searched for it. No, I have not. No, not really.
No.
And even now I'm into this because I'm burn marked.
Yeah.
Not only of the 96, even from 2011 when we found the Baltic Sea anomaly. So I'm so curious. I want to see how it's what pictures and films and so on. And no, I have not seen anything like I have seen 2000 or 1996. No, not really.
Do you have a feeling that you're going to see it again? Is there a feeling returning to you inside of you that tells you this is not the last time?
I don't know. You know, I hope. That's why I'm searching all the time. I'm not the only explorer out in the sea searching for shipwrecks and so on. I'm so into this, deep into this now, and because I want answers. I want answers. What the heck is going on around us? What have I seen? What's the purpose? What do they want? That's important for me.
Yeah, it is. Have you ever heard of any activities such as undersea bases near Stockholm?
No. But no undersea bases under Stockholm, or no, I have not heard about that. Have you?
I have a little list. Yeah, I have.
Send it to me so I can.
I have a little list of places of elder military installations that has been used.
Yeah. You mean military installations? We have lots of it out in the archipelago here. We have lots of it.
In Gothenburg also, where they did the test of the jet flight that was sealed off, and there was a lot of things going on there. That's something I would like to dive into another day. Maybe we could do it together if you're up for it.
Yeah, of course.
But there's a lot of material there to go dig into. But definitely, I think we got a lot of material with your witness statement of your sightings to go on with and take a next step and look into the background behind what was going on in the area. And I will actually ask people that are watching this interview out there, go in. I'll put the Swedish names of the base up so you can spell it in on Google. Have a Google look at it, Google it. Do your research, find out what you can find out about the area, and maybe also about the UFO sightings in 1996. And if you find something, please come back to us at SpaceLink TV or Knowledge Portal, and we'll collect the material together and see if we can make another interview in about a year's time with Dennis again, and we can bring up and see what we have caught up ever since. How does that sound with you, Dennis?
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Dennis?
I mean, well, we can do perhaps take the camera with us and do it in English and at the spot in Ursvikt at the military installation.
Yeah, very good idea. I remember I've been on that. I have to add to this that I've actually been on the actual installation and I've seen it, and I've seen the tunnels. I haven't been in the tunnels yet, but I've seen it. I've been at the base, and we had a little look around back in 5 years ago. So physically I have been there and seen the base. It exists, and the area is still there with the tunnels into the mountainside. It's a very fascinating area, and I think we're going to hear a little bit more about it in the future. I think so. Dennis Asberg, thank you for telling us about your UFO experience. I hope we can reach out to the whole world with it, because I think you have an amazing experience that people need to hear about. And I hope it will bring other people forward to share their experience with us and with the world and tell us about what they have seen and experienced. Because I know, and this is for a fact, that there are thousands of people out there who daily have UFO sightings, but don't understand what they actually have seen and kind of forget about it or leave it or don't bring it up again. Bring it up. Don't hide it. Don't build it up inside. Get it all out. Tell us about whatever you have of experience with unidentified flying objects. Dennis, thank you for joining in today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're so welcome.